And here we go at 9:30 in New York City. Look at that. This is an altitude where the New York Stock Exchange has never been before. 20,000, 28 points, up 115 at the open. This is historic. We have moved more than 2,000 points since the election back in early November, and many people call it a Trump bump. And that's exactly what we're seeing yet again today. It had been a stubborn market. We watched it hover around 19,900 for weeks, and today is the day. For the first time ever, Shannon, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has topped 20,000. Wow.
And I know you were trying to grab a picture of it right as it happened to capture it for history's sake, but yeah, it's there. It's staying north. And, you know, it's interesting because you remember before the election, there were those who said that there would be trouble, that the markets would go crazy. There would be a lot of negative impact if the markets believed that Trump was going to win. And reality maybe seems a little different.
Markets don't like instability, and during the election night, overnight, when it was clear that Pennsylvania was called for Mr. Trump and made him the next president of the United States, the futures market overseas, they tanked. They were off about 850 points to the downside. And we did open lower the next morning, but we finished up with a surge throughout the day and ended up in positive territory. So oftentimes, what do they say? You buy or sell on the rumor, or no, sorry, you buy on the rumor and sell on the news. Well, in this case, a lot of people were, they were selling on the rumor, and now they're buying on the news. So it's been a bit of a flip right now. And if you look, a lot of these big American companies, too, they like what they're seeing and what they're hearing from the president so far in the Oval Office.
Right, as we saw in the meeting on Monday when they talk about cutting regulations, taking off barriers to them doing business, building plants here, those kinds of things. It's being well received, that kind of talk.
And not just from the car companies, too. The union leaders from 2 days ago, when they hear about TPP, which they did not like at all, they thought it treated American workers unfairly. When they saw the order that said the withdrawal process has begun, they cheered that news from the Oval Office. So here we are. We'll see whether or not we finish above 20,000. That'll be the next marker for investors as they watch it.
Mr. Peters. Mr. Portman. Mr. Reed. Mr. Risch.